Alright, check this bike out. This one was found in a barn alongside the YZ125 that you guys saw me work on a couple weeks ago. But as you can see, this is a 1975 Yamaha GT80 mini Enduro. So these used to be street legal. It's missing the headlight for it. So there's usually brackets right here with the headlight, and the wires were cut going to the headlights. So somebody tried to make this into a dirt bike, is what I'm thinking. It is missing the side cover here and the cover on the other side. But I bought this thing because the tank is pretty much spotless. I mean, not a single dent in that tank. And then check out the pipe. Pipe looks immaculate. Look at that thing. It has a stock silencer on there, or if you can call it that. Usually these are cut off or broken off from crashing. It does turn over. I don't know if it has much compression. We're gonna check that today. And the brakes seem to be working. Let's see if the clutch works here. Yep, clutch seems to be working too. This does have the little oil pump right here. Looks like it was leaking a little bit, but that's on there at least. And let's see if it turns over. Yeah, it feels like there's a little compression there. Seat obviously needs to be recovered, but it does have the original seat on there. You can see the Yamaha on the back. Tail light is missing, but both fenders are there. Still has the horn. Kind of cool. Has the ignition switch as well. If we take the seat up here, you can see there is a spot for a battery. Positive and negative ground into the frame. I couldn't get the gas cap off, so we couldn't look inside the tank. But the side cover looks really good here. This is the oil tank. And then it's missing the points cover right there. And if you look on the carburetor, you can see the manifold is cracked in half and in the carb. So I'm guessing somebody tried to take off the carburetor and cracked that right in half. It looks like the speedo cable is off as well. So it's missing quite a few parts, but the goal today is to get this thing in running and driving condition and see if we can save this thing. I ordered up a bunch of new parts for it, so let's get it in the garage and see if we can get this thing to come alive today. Should be a fun one. I love these little 80 bikes. So it's hard to beat the look of a 1970s little mini Enduro. These things are sweet looking. I've always liked the look of them. And the yellow tank is just really cool, in my opinion. So we'll see what that looks like all cleaned up. But we got some new parts for it. We got the original air filter for it. This is actually from Yamaha. I'm guessing the one on there is junk. We got both covers. We got an intake manifold for the carburetor boot, and a set of reeds just in case the other ones are bad. Got a brand new seat cover for it, and then a battery. So this is the battery that is used for this bike. I believe it's a little, 6 volt. This one actually has points, you can see in there. I'm guessing those are really dirty, but we'll figure that out once we start looking into it. Yeah, it's opening. That's good. So the first step is going to be looking at the gas tank. Hopefully this isn't all rusted out. Or is it rusted on? Yeah. She's on there pretty good. Oh, there we go. Looks pretty rusty to me. Oh, maybe it was the rubber that was stuck. Oh, it's not too bad. Oh, it's not that bad. Wow. There's like 0 rust in there. There's no gas in there at all either. Look at that. Woohoo! Well, that's a score right there. That's awesome. So pretty much rust free. We'll probably have to clean out the petcock. That probably doesn't work. But at least the gas tank is nice and rust free. All right, we know this thing turns over, but does it shift? Let's see here. So it's in neutral right now. Uh-oh. Is it all up? Maybe it is. Yeah. There we go. It's shifting. Yeah, it's all up. So I think there's just like 3 or 4 gears going all the way up. So looks like it's shifting. Oop, that just broke right off. All right, now at least. I think. There we go. That looks good. I don't see any holes. Cool. This carburetor looks pretty rough. May as well get that off right away if we can. Oh, surprisingly, the slide was not stuck. Yeah, it pulled right out. I was expecting that to be stuck in there. There's the carb. You can see the manifold is stuck in there. So we'll let that soak for a bit and try to get that out. Tiny little carb. Original carb though, so that's good. Looks like a new plug. B7HS plug. Oh no, it was running at one point. Pretty brown. Looks like it was running pretty good. Sweet. Alright. I'm just gonna put a little lubrication down here. This thing's been sitting for 20 plus years, so just a little WD-40 and a little bit of oil. Alright, let's see if it kicks over. Pretty smooth. Yeah, very smooth. Not hearing any crunching or anything. Will it have spark? There's no way. The points look pretty dirty, so I'm gonna be really surprised if it does have spark. I think we need the battery too. Nothing. The key is in the on position. Yeah, nothing. So we kind of knew that. I think the battery has to be hooked up for that to work. And I'm guessing the ignition switch right here needs to be cleaned out. There's no way that's gonna work. Before we do that, let's quick do a compression test, see what we have for compression. Alright, compression tests are going in. Good compression actually. So right around 120 pounds of compression, so it should fire up with that amount. That's pretty decent for a little bike like this. And if those rings are stuck a little bit, we'll go up even more once we get this thing running. All right, next step is going to be to look at the points here. So there's one right here that opens. You can see it in there. So there it is. That's the one we have to clean. So you can see it opening and closing right there. You can see it opening and closing a little bit. So we're gonna get some WD-40 in there. Clean that off. And what a lot of people like to do is stick like some sandpaper in there and get that cleared off. I just stick a screwdriver and first get off that black gunk on there. And then I go in with a little sandpaper and get the rest of it. But a lot of that WD-40 helps clean it off and get it to where it's making good contact. I like to leave them open and then spray in there. Clean those off really well. We'll let that marinate for a little bit, and we'll get this battery in. Get this up. Alright, you can see the red wire right here. Take that one out. I like to spray in there, clean up that contact a little bit. Everything's been sitting forever. Take a little screwdriver, again, scratch up the surface. The WD-40 does a good job of cleaning all the gunk off of it. And then right here is our ground. Make sure that's got a good contact there. We'll scrape that up. Clean off that area. And then I'll just clean this off a little bit. So we've got good ground now. It's got the wrong connection though on it. Might have to get a new connection on there, because it gave me this one. All right. All right. All right, let's see if we're getting a spark. All right, here we go, moment of truth. Will we have spark? Points are cleaned, brand new battery. Oh, yeah, baby. Bright blue spark, look at that. Every kick. That is amazing. And then with the key off, Let's see. Yep, no spark, key back on. Look at that. So ignition's even working. That's crazy. Wow, so we have spark and compression. Next is fuel. All right, we've got our little intake manifold here. You can see the little wire going to the oil pump there. So oil gets pumped up from the oil pump into here at a specific amount based on the throttle. And then it mixes with the gas, so you don't have to pre-mix it. But obviously on this one, we're gonna probably pre-mix it just in case. Oil pumps were probably the main failure point on these bikes. So we gotta get that little clip off. These lines are pretty brittle. Let's see if we can get that off without breaking it. Oh, it's pretty on there. Oh, it's coming. There we go. See if these reeds are okay. We do have another set just in case, so. I also wonder if this thing has any oil in it. It's not dripping any oil, so hopefully it does and we don't have any leaks. One more to go. I mean, look how easy this bike is to work on too. That's what I love about older bikes. So easy to work on. All right, so here it is. Oh, gasket's still fine. Reeds look good. There's these little tabs. See, they're opening. Can't see air through them, so that's really good. So really the only broken piece is that little intake manifold part. So we can replace that. Let's see if it's the same size as the other one. So here is the other one. For comparison, oh, this one does have a gasket on there. Sweet. So, perfect. I was a little hesitant because this one was black, so I'm guessing this one was painted at one point. But yeah, so we can get this line off and get that back on there. You don't want any air leaks happening here, so just wipe that off. And same with these, we'll put a little gasket maker on there. Just a very small amount to help out the gasket. It looks like this one was actually capped off so that you could run premix, which we might have to do anyway. So we'll keep that. Alright, that just goes like that. I believe the air filter is behind here. I think this might be like a little dipstick or a breather. It's definitely where you fill it up, I would think. Yeah. So it doesn't look like there's any in there. Completely empty. That's intact. There it is right there. It's kind of cool. Alright, we'll open that up. This air filter was like 30 bucks because it was OEM. So hopefully this one's bad and just wastes a bunch of money. Ooh. Yeah, that's pretty rough. Good thing we bought a new one. I don't even know what's going on in there. We're gonna use the pliers for that. I don't know what's living in there. Yikes. All right, we're gonna get that cleaned off, whatever that is. Looks like grass of some sort, like fake grass. That's what that looks like. And we're going to get the cage out of there. I think we need the cage. All right, here's the new air filter. That's what it should have looked like, so not sure where that went to, but it was obviously missing. Cage is in good shape though. So that's gonna go like that. What I like to do is put a little grease right here so it seals to that surface nice. Around here. I don't want any dirt getting in there. That gets pressed up right there. Just like that. So let's see if this is the right cover for it. Looks like this is sticking a little too far out here. And it should slide right off. Yeah. So this has to be down more like right there. Let's see if that's gonna fit. So yeah. Time to start working on this carburetor. So first I want to dig out the old intake here. You can see it should come right out of here. It's tight. Go. Alright, that's out. Without damaging anything. That's good. Alright, how bad could it be, right? Alright, one more here. Looks pretty clean from the outside. Alright, let's see. Ooh, was the gas that was in there. Ooh, is that dark? Look at that. That is caked full. Yeah. Pretty gunked up. Alright, float's already coming off. That's good. Nothing's broken there. Let's see. The old float looks good. Nothing snapped off of there. Needle right here. Tiny little guy. Oh yeah, it just came out on its own. Cool. That looks good as well. There's a little pilot right here. Main jet right here. There's really no reason to change them. But they're definitely clogged. Little pilot jet here. Looks like it's running looks like a 40 pilot jet maybe? Hard to tell. Alright, and then our main jet. The whole emulsion tube is coming out. Main jet is just gunked. I can't even see what that says. So we'll let that soak. And then we've got our air screw right here. That was all the way in. So, I wonder if this thing had an air leak, because that should not be all the way in like that. Alright. That's pretty much everything. And then the choke seems to be working too. Yeah, that hell looks good. Cool. So, let's let this soak for a bit. Come back and blow everything out. Right, carburetor just came out of the ultrasonic cleaner, looking perfect. We blew out all the jets with compressed air. Looking good, so we can put all this back together and get it back on the bike here. Right, carburetor's back on, air filter's on with the boot. Spark plug's back in. Let's get the gas tank cleaned out here. So there's not a whole lot of rust in it, but I just want to take a peek at the petcock here, make sure that's working. There's definitely some gunk in there. Looks like old gas. Gasket looks good. Still has the original screen on there, that's crazy. Does this thing turn? Yeah, that turns. Well, the screen isn't all clogged either. Alright, we'll blow through this, make sure it's all clear, then reinstall it and add some premix to it, see what happens. Alright, taking a quick peek at the oil pump here. You can see some oil on the bottom of the pump there. So I wonder if this thing is leaking. You can kind of see it right here, pooling up. A big chunk of it. We'll put some oil down the tank. There's actually a little bleeder screw. You can see it. It's all covered in mud, but the bleeder screw's right here on it. So once that gets oil, we know that most likely the oil will be pumped up to the manifold, but we're definitely going to pre-mix it just in case the pump does not work on startup. But let's first get the canister filled up and that bleeder screw out. See if we're at least getting oil to the pump. While we're over here, may as well check the oil. Let's see if there's any oil. Doesn't look like there's anything. Oh, there's a little bit. A little bit in there, not a whole lot. Alright, you can see the drain plug is right on the bottom of the engine right there. So, looks like a 17 millimeter. Oh, there's a little bit in there. You can see it draining out. Not a whole lot. Looks pretty clear. I wonder if this thing has a leak or something. It only takes 500 milliliters, so it doesn't take a whole lot. You can see right here, 500 milliliters going in using wet clutch oil, 10W40. Like that. Let's see how much is in there. So 200 bucks. Let's fill up the oil tank here. Funnel in there. Put a little bit of that in there. Not gonna put a whole lot because I don't know if it leaks or not. Put like that much in. And we're going to take that bleeder screw out. So what's hopefully gonna happen is it's gonna come down here and squirt out of this hole. That's what we're hoping. Hopefully no lines are clogged or anything. So we'll give that some time. Alright, we can see it's coming out of that hole now. It's pumping out. So we can clog that. So now we know that the pump's getting oil and it's primed. That's looking good. Not seeing any other leaks yet from this thing. But yeah, now we can add some premix and attempt to start this thing up. So now what should happen is this pump should pump oil up to there, that little tube right there, and that goes up to the carburetor up there. Alright, we'll get some premix in here, 41 mixed. Alright, petcock was working. Let's see if she fires up. No leaking at all. Let's see what happens here. not wanting to go. What's going on with it? All right, we just disconnected the pipe where the header pipe is, and we'll see if that starts now. I thought maybe the pipe was clogged. Not wanting to go. All right, so I think I figured it out, hopefully. We took the spark plug out. It was sparking good when I was kicking it over. I took the drill to it, and at high speed, it was not sparking. So we set the points gap, and now it's sparking consistently at high speed. So let's see if that did the trick, see if she fires up. Alright, that was the trick. I still think the pipe is clogged though. Alright, we took the pipe back off. Let's see what happens now. All right, so the gas tank was on reserve and reserve wasn't working. The on position was, so that's why it was not continuing to run. So yeah, we got that fixed. So let's put everything back together and see if it runs consistently here. She's smoking quite a bit, so I wonder if that is pumping oil through there. You can see the pump working. All right, so I was riding this thing. It's still a little boggy down low, kind of like it's like starving for air. So I think what we're gonna do is see if the oil is getting pumped up to here, and then probably just bypass the pump for now and run premix. But and then we can just hook that back up once the gas is gone in the tank. We know the pump is working. So right here we'll disconnect it. If there's blue oil right there, that means we're good to go. And we can quick start it up and see what's coming out. So you can see the blue oil coming out of it right there. So pump is working. All right, so we came down here by the oil pump, took the line off that goes to the carb, blocked that one off, and then blocked off the other line that goes to the carb. So both of them are blocked off, so that eliminates the oil pump. We have premix in the tank. Let's see what runs now. All right, so I think the crank seals are going. I rode around for a little bit and watched this smoke coming out. It smells like crankcase oil. So it is smoking a lot. Should not be smoking that much. And that's with the pump eliminated. Yeah, that smells pretty bad. Another symptom of that would be bogging when we're taking off. So watch this. So, unfortunately, I think we're gonna have to tear down the engine and start digging into this thing. Or maybe we should tear Vinny down. What do you think, Vin? You're crazy, dude. But yeah, the crank seal I believe you can get to without tearing apart the engine cases. So if we take off this side cover and the other side cover, I think we can get those crank seals out. Hopefully, that's the goal. I think the top end is fine. We've got pretty good compression, so let's take those side covers off and see what's going on. All right, it's the next day. I woke up with a bad sinus infection, so my whole face feels like it's on fire. And it's a little tough to work, so we're gonna take a couple days off here, get rested up, and we'll tear back into this bike once I feel a little bit better. But I'm 100% sure it's the crank seals. This thing was smoking a ton last video. It's leaking oil everywhere. So it definitely either like popped a seal out or that seal is just gone the way it was smoking. So next video we will get new crank seals for it, and then buy a new piston for the top end, get that freshened up, and then look for a headlight. And then we've got the seat cover we can install as well. So this bike will be pretty much good to go next video. Might look for some tires too. But yeah, I think it'll be a good little ripper once we get those new crank seals and a new top end. I think I paid $350 for this bike, and then like $100 in parts, so we're up to $450. So we have a little room to play with, and you know, considering the gas tank is so nice, I think it's gonna be worth it. It's a sweet little bike. But yeah, hopefully you guys enjoyed the video, picking this thing up, tearing into it, getting it to start, and then diagnosing the crank issue. So we'll have to look into that and complete this project next video. So thanks for watching, guys. Thanks for subscribing. Stay tuned for next one, and until next time, we are out.